Okay, hello everybody. This is Jens Anderson, creative director on DC Universe Online, and I am here with Andrew Bushman. Want to say hi?
Hi, world.
Hello, world. Wow. Hey, stay classy, world. All right. Oh, I should have ended with that one. Actually, that's not how you open. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to our live cast here it's our first one for Home Turf, right? We haven't shown anything, and what we wanted to do today was really start you out with showing you exactly how bases are going to be set up, how you can move them, where they're located. We have really cool concept in terms of your base entrance. Your base itself has a physical location in Metropolis or Gotham City, right?
That's right.
So you have to actually choose an entrance. You can see right here, Andrew's standing outside the entrances of one of the bases he already has set up. And this is here in Gotham City, so he can kind of go in and out at his leisure. But we're going to show you actually how to set up a base and get one of these entrances in the first place. So let's go ahead and do that now. You want to walk us through what we call deeds in that system?
Sure. So every base in the game has a theme, and every base in the game requires a deed to enter. So the way we get in our bases is by consuming a theme, and then a deed and selecting an entrance.
So let's go over those themes really quick. With the DLC Home Turf, when it launches, you're going to be getting 2 themes. Well, really 3 themes, but the third is more for a hideout, which is kind of like, if you don't have the DLC and you're not a legendary member, you get a hideout. We wanted to give you a place to, put the couches you're finding in the game, right? Not just like store them in some locker somewhere. You actually have a hideout. So that actually is a style. It's called Dive, and it is exactly that, kind of a cruddy apartment.
That's right. That's the first place you get when you move out of home.
Right. We're not giving you. If you're free to play, you don't get the exclusive luxury apartment.
That's right.
You get
no
the Dive. Exactly. So the hideout has some limited functionality, but you can also use the Dive theme in your lair if that's kind of fitting to your character's personality. Like someplace Captain Cold would hang out, right?
Exactly,
That's kind of like what this place is. So the other 2 themes that we have that are coming with the DLC is Gothic and Deco, and these are really cool, just like apartment style places. So let's actually go through and consume those themes. You'd go through and click on them, and you'd be asked if you want to add it to your theme library. Say yes, and you just unlock the Hideout Dive. We can do the other 2 as well, so we get them all in there.
They've been collected. So
those have already been collected? All right, okay. Okay, so let's talk about deeds now. Now that you actually have the theme, use the deed, which is really kind of like signing a lease in Metropolis or Gotham for a place.
Right.
So here we have our base UI, and you can see when you're going through here that Andrew has unlocked the Dive, the Gothic, and the Deco, and it gives you a little preview of what you're going to see, what the base is like when you're trying to select where you want it to go. Then you can tab down after you select your theme. Let's go with Gothic for right now, or do you want to do Modern? Doesn't matter to me. You can do Gothic. Gothic works.
Gothic,
yeah,
sure.
Gothic works. So let's go down. You can choose what city you want it to be in. Do you want to be in Metropolis, or do you want to be in Gotham? What do you think?
You know what, Gothic? How about Gotham?
Gotham for Gothic? Yeah. All right, you're thinking way outside of the
That's
box on this one. But I agree. All right, so we'll do that. Now you can look at the available entrances on the bottom here, and as Andrew zooms in a little bit, you can see that each of these base locations is an actual street address somewhere in Metropolis or Gotham City. In this place, Gotham City, and each location, you want to talk about how those locations, why they, what they're all about. They're the premium ones versus the normal ones.
Sure. So we have multiple tiers of locations within both the base for layers of price. Things we take into consideration when pricing are proximity to safe house, so you have lots of amenities
conveniences
there.
And stuff.
Sure, nearing iconic locations or some of the more popular content out in the city.
Kind of like more in-game hot ticket, content locations. If you want to be closer to those things,
exactly,
you're gonna pay a little more initial cost for your deed.
That's right. The stuff you and your league mates are working on, maybe your dailies, maybe you want to get out there, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can see here, Cobble Lane. There were actually a couple addresses on Cobble Lane. Go back up there. There's 9899 Cobble Lane and 9393 Cobble Lane, both $525 cash to get your deeds. So not the greatest neighborhood in Gotham City.
Right.
What about downtown? Any cooler stuff downtown?
Let's see.
If maybe you want to live in South Gotham where the Brainiac guys are. Apparently real estate with Brainiac front real estate is $1,075, so it's a little more costly to live around the. You think that would be cheaper?
Amongst the elite mobs.
Amongst the elite mobs, you get a little more expense there. Yeah. So you can see here, like in 15, 1075. So there's different thresholds of cost. And when you first select your deed and you're paying this isn't. I kind of jokingly refer to it as signing lease, but this isn't rent. This is one-time kind of like, fee that you get to choose your location.
Right.
And let's do that. Go ahead and you can. There's also some iconic ones too, right?
Sure,
You want to go to the
sure.
bottom.
Sure.
So each of these themes also has a couple of iconic locations. Like in this case, the Gothic location in Gotham will have Amusement Mile entrance, an Ace Chemicals entrance, and an Arkham Asylum entrance. So you can actually set up your lair at some of those iconic locations, which is really, really cool. And each theme, just like it has different locations here, like go switch over to the lair deco. Yeah, now go down. And you can, well, it's kind of hard to tell with this one, but obviously there's different locations going on here, and especially with the iconic ones, you can see those are different. There's Gotham University entrance and an Arkham Asylum gazebo, which is in a different spot. Sure. So depending on the theme you have, it has different locations associated with it. So let's go back to that Gothic and go ahead and pick whatever entrance you want.
Let's just go to, how about Ministry Court?
Ministry Court. Or is that center?
You know what? I think it's court.
Is it court? Okay.
That's right.
Is this the same for both center and court?
No,
both
I think it's
BCT?
still
Okay. All right. All right. So would you like to? Once you consume your deed, it asks you if you want to enter your base, and let's go ahead and say yes. You don't have to say yes. Your base will still be created. You're just not warping to it right away. So now here we are in this sort of brand new player base, and this is Brick's new lair. It's his base of operations, and you can see it's kind of picking up some of the colors for his outfit. There's some of the red trim there. There's also elements of purple probably on the archways or the bases of the columns there. You can see kind of the purple on that archway right there to the left by the chat UI. There's again in the doorway and threshold. So it automatically picks up your player colors to kind of theme it to your lair. We also have emblem placards you can stick on stuff so it picks up your emblem. But we're going to talk about lair decoration another time. This is all about the deeds and the entrances. So we're just going to briefly pop into here as we need to. We'll talk about this other stuff later. So why don't you go ahead and exit your base.
Sure.
And you will come out on your center or court.
Court, yes, right.
Yes,
Front
I
door.
don't know which one it is, but then here you go. Here's your entrance. Ah, yes, Brainiac front property with civilians fleeing everywhere. A villain's paradise.
That's right. A nice apartment room, yes.
So here you are. You got your base, and that's your entrance. You can pop in and out of here. You can go back in, and obviously you'll be popped into your base that you just made. Now, let's go ahead and talk about moving your base.
Sure.
Okay. So let's go back inside. Let's say you don't like the neighborhood you picked and you want to change at some point. You can go over to your base management area here. This is where you do all of your stuff. And we do deco mode we'll get into in another live cast, but here you can see relocate base is also an option, and it tells you that relocating your base will change the location, and you're going to need to pay again to sort of a moving fee of cash or whatever, right? So go ahead and relocate the base. Now you don't have to stick with your same theme.
And that's really cool.
You can change your theme. So which one do you want to go with this time?
You know what? This time let's do...
Oh, well, there's some other ones up here.
Yeah.
What's up with that? So we talked about various themes. There's going to be Gothic and Deco with the DLC, but there's also going to be 4 available on the marketplace as well.
That's right.
Let's show some of those just really quick. Ancient, which is cool. There's the Dive, which comes to Industrial, which is neat. We also have the Penthouse, and actually the Penthouse is coming a little later, I think. But there'll be a few on the marketplace that we'll be offering to you guys as well. Let's go ahead and choose just the Ancient, since it'll have much more different layout. So you want to go Metropolis, or do you want to go into Gotham again?
Oh, we've done Gotham, so let's look at Metro.
Okay. Let's see. What are the iconic locations for this Ancient thing here in Metro? The Science Spire. Where'd you go? Your route.
There it is.
There you go.
Let's do it.
All right. Do it.
And those will cost marks of triumph as well, Stash.
Yes, the premium ones like that cost marks and cash. You're right. Should have mentioned that. And then the other ones are progressively just more cash as you go up. But those ones that have like special names and locations, you're gonna have to put some marks into those as well. Okay, so here's the ancient as well. You can kind of see it's picking up your colors, which you can of course go into the house decoration mode and change all those tints around. They don't have to match your player colors, but we do default them to that initially, just so it's kind of friendly. So you relocated your base, which was good. So now you've basically moved from Gotham to Metropolis.
That's right.
So people probably want to know if you can have multiple bases. And the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can. So let's actually consume a second deed and make a second base.
Let's get outside and do it.
Loading, loading, loading. I like the idea of having two bases because it's a lot like, Batman has Batcave north, south, and the main Batcave. He's got other sub-Batcaves and lairs that he can kind of go to in the other parts of Gotham City. So this kind of reflects that, where players, some characters in the DC universe actually have multiple locations that they can jump to. So here we are outside the new lair that we just made.
There's your iconic entrance.
Yes.
Indeed. So let's go make another.
So we'll go to inventory now. You can get these deeds off of the marketplace. So if you want an extra layer, you get one with the DLC, but if you want an extra one, you can go to the marketplace and purchase another deed to have multiple layers. And so let's go ahead and pop that open. Now, you've already got the deco, the gothic, the hideout, whatever other themes you might have purchased on the marketplace. You have to purchase the extra deed to have the extra slot for the house, but any themes that you've purchased already can be applied to that. So it's not like you have to go and buy 2 sewers. You bought sewer once, and you can have as many sewers as you buy deeds for.
Exactly right. Once you unlock the theme, you can have as many houses in that theme as you like.
Right. So let's choose Metropolis again here for this one, and maybe let's do industrial. Sure, that works for me. Let's see where the locations for that are. Ooh, we're missing Little Bohemia at the bottom there. Oh well, that's okay.
Nice street, huh?
All right, that works good. And let's go to our base. So it'll warp us right to the base, and we can pop out outside of it. So we will just show you that. Did we put the base cap on there yet? The deed cap?
Yeah.
No, we haven't finalized the details on what the base cap is going to be. You can see some layers actually have more color, has more influence on different ones. Like this one, we allow you to tint the walls a little more than some of the others. So you can obviously negate that color. You can put in a different color if you want to, and really do a different treatment in here if you want. Almost like there's more paint on the walls here.
Exactly.
You can see even the faded areas where the other stuff is, the normal material, the concrete or steel or whatever, is bleeding through. But this is almost like you put paint on the walls here. Whereas some of the other ones, it's more like the material itself is tinted. So it depends. The artist took a lot of different directions with that per layer, and you can find whichever one you like.
Right.
Okay, so we have our second layer set up, right?
That's right.
And we can do the same relocation of the base if we wanted to. But let's pop outside really quick and kind of show the map here and how you see these things on the map. So here we are outside this entrance to our base. We'll go look at the map right now, and if we zoom out, you can see I'm right on top of the base right there. But you can see my other one up by the Science Spire up north, and there's another one down here by the Kane Street Mall. It looks like you already had a base set up.
That's right.
So now you've got 3.
3 houses in Metropolis, that's it.
Dude, that's a lot of cribs. Okay, so here we are. We've got 3 bases. You can set a waypoint on those if you want to. So let's actually set a waypoint on that one up north. There you go. Come out of the map, and you can look around, and you can see to the north on the mini map in the top right of the screen there. You can see we've got our waypoint, and Andrew will just fly all the way over here. And once you start getting closer to it, you can actually see the God Pillar of light there. That is indicating your base layer just like it would for a safe house, and you can kind of see where it is. Friends can, of course, that have access to these things, they can set up waypoints and be able to find your house by going into the friends list and clicking on sort of setting a waypoint on that friend's lair entrance, and that way you can find other friends' lair entrances on the map, and you can go in that way. And of course, this isn't an exclusive entrance to you. Many people can use the Science Spire or Ace Chemicals or, Cobble Court or Center,
Right.
wherever the heck we were.
Right.
Multiple people can use those same house entrances, but hopefully the chances are they're not all playing at the same playtime, moving in and out at the same exact time. But
House party.
yeah, house party, exactly. Okay, so now he easily found his way up there. But let's say also there's some conveniences, just like you can warp to HQ and warp to base. You want to go ahead and open up the map, and obviously if it's maybe too far, you can just use the warp to base feature. And you have 3 of them though, so let's see what happens if you turn that. It's going to ask you. Actually, you have 4. What do you have? Another one in Gotham, I guess.
That's right.
Dude, you're like traveling all
You don't even
over
know.
the place.
You don't even know.
Oh, you've got ones that aren't even listed here.
That's right.
Secret lairs. Oh man, that's not a real feature. All
clarify.
layers are listed here.
That's right.
All right, so let's say you wanted to go warp to a base. Let's see, we just sent up Gothic, Ancient Industrial. So I guess Deco would be in Gotham, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so go ahead and let's click that. And actually this should warp you over to the other city, or it would warp you to any base that you're in. So you just popped over here. Let's go ahead and turn around and bloop, pop back out, and you can see that you're in a totally different location. So there's navigational things that can be important in terms of choosing the entrance to your base. This is the Kane Street Mall one, it looks like.
Yeah.
So choosing the entrance to your base is really important because you can use multiple bases to sort of ping around the cities and things like that, and basically using the map to warp to and then popping out. And so there's all kinds of things, just like with the safe houses and the HQs, that you can do to speed up your travel time using bases and base placement. Trying to think as if there's anything else we didn't cover yet.
I think so.
That's pretty much it, right? All right. Well, there you go. That was our first home turf sort of little tidbit of details to share with you guys, and it is how to set up your base. And oh, hey, you're a fire dude. Interesting. Wait, get away from that green base thing. Those fire effects look new and fancy.
This is a little different.
Maybe do a different one.
Hmm.
Ooh. Let me see some more fire. Ooh, sparky embers. Flutters. Whoa! Whoa! Anything else? What else you got here?
Maybe have some other
Nice.
things.
That was some dual wheel fire. All right. Well, perhaps there were some new fire effects. What? Hmm? Oh, yeah. Okay. So thank you for tuning in to this. I want to answer more questions from you guys directly. About base entrances, base deeds, things like that that you want to know about. I'm happy to follow up questions on Twitter right now. So if you want to ping me up with some questions at Spittle on Twitter, I will happily answer as many as I can. Right now we're sticking to entrances, deeds, things like that. We'll be getting into decoration, themes, lair PvP battles, and all the other great stuff that's included in Home Turf in some more webcasts over the coming weeks. And we'll let you know when those are. I'm sorry, what? I will. And for those of you that don't know my Twitter handle, how to spell Spittle, it's at SPYTLE, at Spittle, at SPYTLE. So shout me out some questions about entrances and for Home Turf, and I will happily answer them for you. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Andrew, for driving and giving us a little insight on how we set up all this stuff. How many street names did there end up being, by the way?
Street names themselves, hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds of street names.
That's
I know
right.
you guys loved coming up with all those names. It was wonderful.
It was great.
You can do a Thomas guide for Metropolis and Gotham City now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Hit me up with some questions at Spittle on Twitter, and we'll see you next time for some more info on Home Turf bases and all other great things with DLC 6. Thanks.
See you.